I just finished watching the Sword Art Online anime, where do I start reading now to continue? Or perhaps you're on the camp of, what do I need to read to understand the upcoming Progressive Scherzo of Deep Night movie? Welcome everyone, it's me Gamerturk. Feel free to use the timestamps in the description for the exact answer you are looking for quickly. I'll start with the simplest answers you're looking for, namely the main series with the ending of Alicization, as well as the Progressive series, and later go a little bit more into detail for those who want to get nerdy to learn everything they can about the series. Links to all available content will be in the description, be it Amazon and Book Depository for officially released material and fan translations for non-released material instead. Do I read the light novels or the manga? That's an obligatory question I must answer because most people are not aware Sword Art Online is a light novel series and its manga adaptations are non-canon, some of which have slight alterations only, some of which are outright parodies or complete changes from canon. Sometimes they're not even complete, as in literally left in the middle of the story. So if you want to read the source material, that is going to be the light novel series. The light novels are basically novels, but slightly shorter and smaller in size, usually come in several parts, featuring full-on text with a dozen or so illustrations drawn by Abeshi in the case of SAO. I am aware a lot of you are not quite warm to the idea of reading full-on books. A lot of you prefer manga for their visual side of things, but I strongly recommend you give it a try if you're interested. The reading order is very simple. Either the main series SAO or SAO Progressive, you just follow the volume number of the book cover. Simple as that. Now going back to our main topic, the most popular question. I finished Season 3 Sword Art Online Alicization and its second half War of Underworld anime. What do I read now? In that case, you have two avenues to pursue, which depends on your preference. The contents of the anime series concluded with Sword Art Online Volume 18 Alicization Lasting. The first avenue you have is the suggestion from before, just follow the volume numbers. The following two volumes, so volume 19 and 20, are a side story called Moon Cradle, which takes place during the 200 years of the maximum acceleration phase, so during the commonly known time skip period of Alicization. However, not as hype as some people make it out to be. It is not about the Star King, it is not about some grand climax or anything. Moon Cradle takes place 1.5 years after the beginning of the period and is sort of a murder mystery story told from the perspective of Ronya Arabelle. There is a plot to cause a second war of Underworld, and Kirito, as the Human Unification Council subdelegate, investigates the circumstances surrounding this mystery. The story is incomplete in its nature, however the afterword by Reiki Kawahara, the author, leaves the door open for its connections into the next main arc. Speaking of, that is the second, potentially more enticing avenue to follow for you. Jump over to Sword Art Online Volume 21 for the next main arc of the series, Sword Art Online Unital Ring. Yes, it is pronounced Unital Ring because it comes from the word unite, so it is not Unital Ring or anything. This is the actual sequel to the entire Alicization saga, the final scene with the spaceships you have seen, and it still continues to be written with roughly one new volume coming out each year. You won't immediately start following up on that space scene, but it is gonna tie back into around the third volume and keeps picking up the Underworld side of things. As stated, you can find the links for both Moon Cradle and Unital Ring down below in the description. Just a small warning, Volume 21 starts Unital Ring, however Volume 22 is a special side story compilation release called Kiss and Fly. While I recommend grabbing it, the 4 stories in it are great and quite fun. If you're just in it for the main arc, you're gonna have to jump from Volume 21 to Volume 23 for the continuation of Unital Ring. The book titles themselves make that quite clear. Second most popular question. I heard the second Progressive movie is jumping from floor 1 to floor 5. Do I need to read anything to not feel lost? Or alternatively, I watched Aria of a Starless Night, what do I read now? Now, in terms of missing out, you technically do not need to read anything for Scherzo movie. Technically, you will not feel absolutely lost or anything, but it is true that we are jumping over 3 entire floors in the movies, and it would at the very least be beneficial if you did read through what's in between, as some of the characters and conflicts that will appear in the movie are introduced in these 3 volumes. There's a reason for the skip. If you're interested, just check out the video linked on the top right corner. And of course, it's the same answer if you want to read Progressive series starting from the contents of Floor 2 without any skips. What you're looking for in this case is Sword Art Online Progressive Volume 1. Yes, the very first volume of the Progressive series. It is a double-sized volume consisting of Aria Starless Night, the Floor 1 content that the first movie adapted, which I still recommend reading because the movie cut out a lot of things to accommodate the Asuna point of view that it had, but it also features a short side story called The Reason for the Whiskers, followed by the complete Floor 2 story, Round of a Fragile Blade. After Volume 1, you simply follow the volume numbers again. Progressive Volume 2 is Floor 3, Concerto of Black and White, Volume 3 is Floor 4, Barcarolle of Froth, and Volume 4 is Floor 5, Scherzo of Deep Night, the story that the second Progressive movie is going to be covering. Now the next question is, if you're watching this after the Scherzo movie, the question you have in mind has likely changed into, what do I read after Scherzo of Deep Night? Well, you're recommended to read the prior material if you skipped over the previous answer, as what comes after Scherzo of Deep Night is a direct continuation of an overarching quest called the Elf War campaign that started on Floor 3, as well as the continuation of the long build-up of events you also encountered in Scherzo that started all the way back on Floor 2. So again, those missing floors are quite recommended to read to continue after the Scherzo movie. Scherzo is kind of that safe spot where you can jump into with relative ease. However, if you want to continue, you have a huge backlog to read through to catch up on the overarching events. And well, to actually move forward from Scherzo, you just keep continuing following the volume numbers as previously stated. Scherzo of Deep Night was Volume 4 of the light novels, so you're looking to continue with Sword Art Online Progressive Volume 5, which will set you on the path of Canon of the Golden Rule, the Floor 6 story. Canon continues in Volume 6 as well, and then you can continue with the Floor 7 story, Rhapsody of the Crimson Heat, with Volumes 7 and 8, again a 2-volume floor. All links to those books are going to be in the description as usual, and we expect Volume 9 to release in 2022 in Japan. However, the translation will likely go into 2023. If you're waiting for that, you likely are. But again, progressive releases are straightforward, at least for now, featuring no story breakers, side story compilations in between. So all you do is just follow that same volume number, even if you're watching this 5 or 10 years into the future. Now, that probably answered the burning question, so time for lightning round smaller questions I encountered often recently. Is there anything I need to read before Aria Starless Night? Now, the anime adapted Kirito and Klein's time perfectly as is, so you don't need to go back to Sword Art Online Volume 1 for that. However, the anime skipped an entire episode's worth of a story right after, called The First Day, taking place right after Kirito abandoned Klein. This story is featured in Sword Art Online Volume 8, the main series, and you can already see aspects of it shown in the Aria movie instead. This story is a big recommendation. The volume also features the Caliber side story adapted in Season 2 after Phantom Bullet, as well as the Murder in the Safe Zone in Season 1's Aincrad portion. If you don't want to go get a book for a single side story, I'll just recommend you simply watch through my summary of the First Day story by clicking the icon on the top right. Alicization was too confusing, especially the power of imagination and stuff. Everything felt too random. Can you help me with that? Now, it's quite unfortunate, but that is what happens when you have to cram 10 volumes into 47 episodes, while also creating anime original content when you already don't have the time. Exposition and world building was removed, entire chapters got cut, a lot of events haphazardly changed into anime original content that does not fit in with the rest of the content there is, etc, etc. The base recommendation would be to read the entire Alicization light novel starting from volume 9 to volume 18, but I do understand that's quite unreasonable. Having to read 10 volumes of a story you mostly experienced in anime form, it's quite a big time commitment and definitely a costly one at that. A good substitute is my Alicization Explained series, comparing each anime episode to its corresponding light novel chapters and talking about the removed/changed content. Each video is about the same length as an episode, less when the episode was good in terms of an adaptation, longer when the episode had too much to talk about. And I also got additional specials in the playlist for outright removed content like the Zakaria tournament chapter. If that sounds like a valuable substitute, feel free to go through it at your own pace. What was it with the ordinal scale characters in Alicization? I thought Eiji hated Kirito and YUNA was dead. This is what happens when the anime completely ignores stories that were written specifically for it to make sense. Sword Art Online Cordial Course is the story of Kirito and Eiji working together to save the YUNA AI program. You can read the fan translation via the dreadful decoding link in the description, or you can watch through my summary of it by clicking the icon on the top right. Anything else you'd recommend going through? Frankly, yes I would, but there is a lot. And I feel like it would be kind of a waste of a time to extend this video talking about each and every single little thing. If you have individual questions as to what you'd be interested in experiencing regarding SAO, just comment under this video and I'll respond accordingly. Alternatively, my Discord server or the SAO Wikia Discord are good avenues to explore more about the series. Both invite links are going to be down in the description as well. I hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more in-depth SAO coverage. Follow on Twitter for the fastest news. Huge thanks to all my patrons and channel members, and I'll see you Monday with This Week in SAO. Until then, stay cool.